Hello and welcome to the All Things Leeds podcast. It's episode 41. I'm NkGhTg here. Joining me in the studio is, as always, my co-host, Charles Foster. Hello.
Hi, mate. Yeah, you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm not bad, not bad. It's grim weather this morning. It is grim.
Terrible, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's coming up to winter. That's how it's going to be, innit?
Happy Halloween as well.
Happy Halloween.
You have a good one?
It was all right. Just did a bit of babysitting. So the parents and my brother went out.
Did you have many people come around?
Yeah, that's I think 6.
6, yeah.
I put the ball outside in the end, so I stopped having to go to the door.
Yeah, when you're kids, it's nice because you're getting all the sweets. But then when you're adults, people come to your house. It's quite annoying.
It's sort of like running a doctor's surgery when you're an adult. You just have to go to the door all the time.
Yeah, it really is.
Let people in.
It really is.
Not let people in. Let people have the thing. I don't let people in my house. I'd like to clarify that I'm not like I'm not letting kids in my house on Halloween.
Let's move on. Also joining us in the studio is Leeds United fan and good friend of the show. It is Chris Chivers. Hello.
Hiya, how are you?
I'm not bad. Did you have a good Halloween?
I mean, not the worst one. I was working, but I did dress up as a pink baby. And yeah, that being in Huddersfield, it just looked like another day to everyone else.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Moving on, plenty to discuss in this episode. We'll of course look back on Leeds United's 0-0 draw with Sheffield Wednesday away at Hillsborough from last Saturday. We'll also look at the Leeds United under-23s as well as some other bits of news that has come out of Elland Road this past week. There's loads to talk about here on the All Things Leeds podcast. Here we are then, back for episode 41 of the podcast. Apologies for this week's episode coming out a little bit later during the week than usual. We usually release these on for Wednesdays or Thursdays, but this one is coming out on the Friday. We did try to record earlier in the week, but there were some technical problems, but they've all been resolved now. The show must go on, as they say, and we're back with plenty to discuss. And we'll get straight into last Saturday's game then. Leeds United, of course, drawing 0-0 with Sheffield Wednesday away at Hillsborough. It wasn't a particularly great game of football. It was very cold, very windy and a rainy day. Very difficult conditions to play in. Charles, do you think the conditions had anything to do with the game?
I don't, to be honest, because it wasn't like normally in games with bad conditions, you get kind of a lot more chances and a lot more kind of keepers dropping it in the box and things like that. But it wasn't really that kind of game. It was a bit of a stalemate, which. When you look to see that Wednesday have the second best defensive record in the division and Leeds have the best defensive record in the division, 0-0 draw seems like the bookies' favourite kind of end result because neither team likes being broken down and neither team concedes many goals, so it made sense, that result. Yeah,
0-0 was written all over it.
0-0. Or I think I predicted
1-1. Yeah,
because I thought they'd score and we'd score. But you know, neither happened. But yeah, it wasn't a brilliant game. Not a lot of chances. It kind of felt like one of those kind of top 6 clashes which neither side wanted to lose. Kind of felt like one of them games.
Yeah, I must admit, I loved playing in the rain when I was a kid, playing football and Sunday League football. I loved playing in those kind of weather conditions. No,
because I wasn't a big fan of it because you just used to get really muddy. You used to just be like head to toe in mud.
Rugby as well in those conditions. That was really fun.
I used to play rugby when I was a kid, and my dad used to come pick us up from practice, and he used to have sheets over the back seat of the car so that we wouldn't ruin his seats. Brilliant.
We done change lineup for Leeds United in this game. I wasn't too happy. I did want quite a few changes. Bielsa played a 3-3-1-3 formation, which he usually does when teams play two up front. Of course, Sheffield Wednesday had New and Stephen Fletcher up top, with two big fellas. It was a slow start to the game. Sheffield Wednesday, I would say, were the better side to begin with. Tested Kiko Kase a few times early on. Kadeem Harris, he had a low drive from 20 yards out on 40 minutes, saved well by Kase. But then Leeds grew into the game. Chris, should we have had a penalty on 19 minutes? Nuiu seemed to bring down Ben White in the box.
If Ben White would have gone down from first contact, yes, no doubt that the ref would have had no choice. Yeah. But because the way Ben White is, he wanted to do the right thing. He wanted to stay on his feet. And that way, when contact was made further, the ref kind of said, well, it's just from, him outstrengthening you. But at the same time, there's no way in there's no way in this world you fall that way from not being tackled.
It's a foul. It's a foul. If that was in the other box, Charles, would that have been given?
Well, yeah, but I think that's just because of how terrible the officials are in this league. I'm in a bit of a minority here because I thought it would have been a bit soft.
Yeah.
I know that obviously he's holding his arm a bit, but I think that's general kind of defender to attacker contact. When he's trying to put somebody off from past taking a shot. I know he just kind of nudges him to the floor a bit, but.
I mean, if that's anywhere else on the pitch, it's a foul.
I think if that's given as a penalty, though, if that was given a penalty against us, we're saying that's very soft.
Yeah.
You've got to see it from the other perspective.
Yeah. But if that's anywhere else on the pitch, it's a foul. And a foul's a foul. A foul is a foul no matter where it is. It would have been
kind of fouls which, Luke Ayling gets all the time, where he just, falls over and gets a foul.
Yeah, his trademark dive.
It's a bit dodgy, but, it's all right because he's playing for us.
Yeah. I personally think it should have been a penalty. A foul's a foul for me, no matter where it is on the pitch.
I'm not saying it's not a pen. I'm just saying I'm not convinced it is a pen.
I mean, no players really appealed for it, but it was certainly an interesting one. Both sides kept on going for it. 35 minutes into the game, Bamford and Click, they had a really good opportunity where Sheffield Wednesday gave a ball away. Bamford ended up backheeling it back to Click, and then we ended up losing the ball. They failed to capitalise on what was a really good opportunity, really. And Charles, I think any other striker in Bamford's situation probably would have gone on and scored.
Yeah, there's a definite confidence issue there.
Yeah, I think that highlighted it for me that he does have a confidence issue.
To defend, I am going to defend him initially here, though, before I go on to explain why he should be taking the shot there.
Go on.
The shot is on his right foot and he's left-footed, and it's about 25 yards out. If you're
Nobody would have run. Other strikers would have run in.
If you're seeing Jack Harrison in that position on his right foot, are you thinking, he's got to take a shot from here?
No, but I'm not saying shoot from there. I'm saying other strikers probably would have got the ball and ran into the box because there was space there.
Yeah, there was a bit of space there, but it wasn't. I think their left back and their centre back were coming towards him. You could see that he had to kind of make a decision there and then, and he chose. I think from his point of view, he thought Click's got a better chance at getting this on target than I do. Which maybe he did, maybe he didn't, because the ball kind of came straight to his feet rather than a bit in front of him, which is where the pass should have come. So he received the ball. By the time he got it under control, the defenders had covered him over.
It did highlight for me. He has a confidence issue at the moment. It really, really did. Just before half-time, Stephen Fletcher, he had a shot from distance and it forced Casilla into an excellent fingertip save. Kiko say he had a really, really good game. We'll go on to him a little bit later on. But the best chance of the half and probably the game really came for Leeds United just before half-time as well. Harrison, a great cross from the left with the outside of his boot.
Outside of his right foot as well, weak foot.
Yeah, it was a brilliant cross.
Great cross.
Yeah, and Bamford, he was 5 yards out and his header was saved really, really well by Kieran Westwood. Should Bamford have done better here, Chris?
No, he really shouldn't have done. He did everything right. He put it the other way from where the goalkeeper was going. He's kind of on the back foot, so he's trying to put as much power on as possible that he can generate into that header. He's done everything he should have done. I don't understand it. Every time we play Sheffield Wednesday, Westwood seems to turn into Neuer or something. It makes no sense, but fair play to Westwood. What a save that was.
It's a great save, it's a great header, but the movement to peel away from the centre half from Bamford is actually really good. I don't think that got highlighted enough by Sky or by LUTV. The fact when the cross comes in, he's obviously stood next to the defenders, but he peels away so well. And even though I think one of their defenders does try to pull his shirt clearly, which is obviously never getting good.
He did, yeah.
But he peels away from him and gets in that space. And you can see the defenders turn around and their centre-back looks at him and you can see the disappointment in his face because he thinks he's definitely going to concede.
Yeah.
You can see he's given up and then obviously just Neuer Westwood.
Yeah.
Push again.
Yeah, but it was a brilliant chance though. It was 0-0 at half-time. NkGhTg, he came on for Patrick Bamford. I questioned it at the time. Bamford, I don't think it was too bad, but I don't think it was too good either. But okay game. There were rumours of an injury, and Bielsa has come out in his press conference this week and said that he did pick up an ankle injury in that game.
There are also Arsenal scouts of that game. Which might be influencing the subs.
Yeah, pressured into the change?
I wouldn't say pressured into it, but if Bielsa's aware, which he will be, that the scouting staff from Arsenal are there, he's going to want to give NkGhTg a decent run out.
But Bamford certainly did pick up an ankle problem in that game, probably from that challenge where he got kicked in the legs and then just dived forwards.
That was such a weird way to go down. I mean, normally in those kind of challenges, you just get kicked in the ankle and you just fall over sideways, don't you? But he kind of swan dived. It was really weird.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether that was...
definitely a foul, though.
It was definitely a foul, but his reaction was strange. And it will have led to just more... Because he's got his reputation taking a bit of a hit since the Villa game and things like that. And that's not gonna help the Championship's opinion on him if he's fallen over like that.
Yeah.
I don't really approve it. I don't know why he did it, but if he's injured, then he's injured. So
yeah, NkGhTg, he did well when he came on. And I think, Chris, this game was where fans realised and understood Bielsa when he says that Bamford, he organised the team. But for me, when NkGhTg is playing, he is so much more threatening.
NkGhTg is more clinical than Bamford. We've seen it time and time again this season. But also, I get where Bielsa's coming from. But then when we was playing, I think NkGhTg had a defensive clearance, Bamford didn't. NkGhTg had more pass accuracy than Bamford. It's like, I see where he's coming from because the organisation just kind of fell apart.
Yeah. But we're more threatening with Eddie NkGhTg on.
Yeah, but at the same time, if we can get that organisation whilst NkGhTg is on, then I don't think we'll have an issue.
There was a couple of times in the second half, that one where he absolutely skinned their right back to go round him and lay it on for Jack Harrison.
Yeah.
That was a great chance. And that bit at the end of the game where, I think it was the last couple of minutes, where he carried it from the halfway line and absolutely skinned two of their players who ended up just going through the back of him, just a foul and to bring him down. Which the free kick didn't come to anything because I thought Calvin Phillips' delivery in the game was quite poor for most of the free kicks. Yeah. Which is a rarity because normally they're quite good, but it was poor in this game.
Yeah. Sheffield Wednesday, they were the better side in the second half, I'd say, and if any team was going to go on and win the game, it would have been Sheffield Wednesday, I think. Just a few minutes into the second half, 8 minutes into the second half, Stephen Fletcher, he had a shot, rattled the crossbar and bounced off Casillas' back and out for a corner. That was a very, very worrying moment.
It was like a FIFA game. That kind of thing happens in FIFA all the time. When you hit the bar and it bounces off the back of the keeper and goes in your own net and you're fuming.
Yeah, but thankfully it went out for a corner.
Yeah, it went out for a corner. It was all right.
Yeah. 15 minutes from time, Liam Cooper, he came on, made his return from injury, and he came on for Helder Costa, who again had a really, really poor game, Helder Costa. I don't know what's up with him at the moment. If Wolves can send us the real Barry Douglas and real Helder Costa, that would be great. I don't
know. I think he gets a bit of a bad rap. I thought against Preston he had a decent game. I thought he laid on that chance, when Tyler Roberts nearly potentially got fouled, but it turned out to be a good challenge. It was him who skinned all the entire left side of Preston's pitch to lay him on.
The argument I have is we bought Costa knowing his number one prime thing he enjoys using is pace.
Yeah. Do we play to his strengths?
No, Bielsa doesn't, and Bielsa's even admitted it. Bielsa said, in me playing Costa, I'm taking out his number one strength, which is his pace.
Yeah.
But he's still got his skills there, which he has shown. Yeah, it wasn't as good at Sheffield Wednesday, but like Charles said, Preston, I think he was solid.
Yeah.
I just think recently a lot of Leeds fans have been getting on to literally every single player on the pitch apart from Ben White, and it makes no sense to me at all.
It's because the way Wolves played football, obviously they played the 3-4-3, and they were constantly putting balls over the top for the front three to chase, and the wing backs were flying up and backing them up, whereas we obviously build from the back, and we have to constantly fight through ranks and ranks of opposition players, which is not where Costa's skill is. His skill is obviously getting the ball with the ball over the top or like a long through ball and just chasing down onto it and then whipping the ball in, which we don't do very often.
Yeah.
We very rarely counter-attack. We are quite good at counter-attacking, so I don't know why we don't do it more often, but we very rarely counter-attack.
Yeah. But yeah, Cooper, he came on for Helder Costa. Cooper went into the back three. Dallas moved to right midfield and Elland got right back. Best chance of the second half came when NkGhTg, you mentioned it earlier, Charles, NkGhTg, brilliant work on the left, got into the box, laid the ball on to Jack Harrison, whose shot was blocked off the line, and then Calvin Phillips on the right crossed it into Alioski, and then he headed onto the woodwork. A really good chance there. And with all the chances that we had, you were thinking, how on earth have we not won this game? But at the end of the day, as well, Sheffield Wednesday, they probably were the better team throughout the entire game. Yeah. I think Gary Monk, he knows how to play a Bielsa system and they matched us completely. And of course, 0-0 at full time. The first time Leeds United and Sheffield Wednesday have drawn 0-0 since April 1969, so 43 meetings ago. And it's only the second goalless draw as well, while under Marcelo Bielsa.
Last one was
which is incredible.
August 2018.
Yeah, Middlesbrough.
Yeah, Middlesbrough.
So garbage game.
I think that kind of sums up the Bielsa style, because people are saying, "Oh, we're not scoring enough" and stuff like that. But if we've always had a game. There's only 2 games we've had that's finished 0-0. Surely that screams that
There's plenty more games we haven't scored in, and we've just lost.
But not that many if you think about it. Last season we didn't lose that many, and it's the same.
We've been 1-0 this season by Swansea and Charlton.
Yeah, but apart from that, we've always we've contributed quite a few.
We don't concede too many goals. No. But yeah, only the second goal is drawn to Bielsa. That clean sheet again for NkGhTg. Probably his best game for Leeds United, I would say.
It was something else.
Yeah,
that deflected
fantastic.
Cross that we're definitely going top corner was a brilliant save.
Yeah, NkGhTg, he was fantastic. Arguably his best game in the Leeds United shirt. That's now 8 clean sheets in all competitions this season. Of course, 16 games played in all competitions. 7 clean sheets in the league in 14 league games. So just incredible form. Awesome. He was in the EFL Team of the Week as well. Just fingers crossed that he doesn't come out to be a racist. so he's not banned for a load of games.
I mean, apparently the way they judge these FA racist charges are that they go and balance the probability, and because there's 2 Charlton players accusing him, and obviously Casey himself is vehemently denying it. He's completely denying saying anything of the sort. But if the FA see balance the probability that he probably has said it, even if he has or hasn't, doesn't really matter. He may still get charged.
It's the same with what happened to Forestry, though, isn't it? He said that he wasn't a racist. FA banned him for 6 games, and now he's...
No, because he got cleared in criminal court, but then got banned by the FA.
And now he's taking it to... He's appealing against the FA because he's being cleared in criminal court. So I think Eco might have to do something similar if it does happen.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Also, one. We'll need to keep an eye out.
There's an argument to whether or not the person accused should be anonymous until convicted, because obviously your reputation takes a massive hit if you're called a racist.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting one, and we'll need to keep an eye on it for sure. But yeah, 0-0 draw. Charles, was a point fair, do you think?
I think I consider it a point gained away at Hillsborough, top 6 rival. 5-point week, and we've been away twice. I'm not going to be annoyed by that.
Yeah, and we've been away to Preston and Sheffield Wednesday, who are in the top 6. They probably will finish in the top 6.
Yeah, form teams at the moment. So I think if we were to go ahead and win at the weekend, you consider that a very good week. I consider it a good week.
Yeah. Chris?
Yeah. It's like Charles said, it's a point gained. We haven't lost anything. Fair result. We should have scored. They should have scored. It's a chance of both half. But can I just say, right? It was very quickly mentioned Alioski's header. How did he get to that? Like the guy's what, 5'8"?
Short, I think.
Yeah.
How did the defender in front of him? What, 6'2"? Like honestly, I was.
If you watch it in slow mo, he's surprised he gets to it. Yeah, it's just really unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's the post.
Yeah, really unfortunate. But yeah, it was a 0-0 draw, and after that point and all the other results of a weekend, we currently sit 3rd in the Championship table on 25 points. Still 2 points behind league leaders West Bromwich Albion, who are on 27 points. What are you saying, Charles?
They play on Monday to West Brom, and Preston play on Sunday, so we can go top.
Saturday. Of course, we're level on points with second place Preston North End and 3rd place Swansea City. Only 3 points above 11th place Birmingham City as well, so the table is still very tight. We move on to the home game against QPR this Saturday, which we'll look into in great detail later on in the show. But looking at our next few games overall, we've got a really good chance of pushing on, really. So you look at our next our November fixtures, and 8 games really, I'd say. So we've got QPR at home, Blackburn at home, Luton Town away, Reading away, of course that midweek game on Sky, Middlesbrough at home, Huddersfield Town away, Hull City at home, and then Cardiff City at home. Our next 8 games, they're all winnable, I'd say. They are all winnable. 24 points. I reckon 20 points is doable.
Yeah. Apparently we've only played one team so far that's not in the top 12. I think that's probably Millwall, and we got screwed over in that game, let's be fair, by the referee.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. That's pretty good going. That we've kind of got most of the good teams out of the way early. I mean, I know we've got to play them all again, but we've got the first round of the playing the hard teams out the way early, and now we can have a. This is the perfect time to put a run together before Christmas,
because they are all winnable, aren't they?
I mean, the way I think Cardiff's going to be the hardest one out of all of them, obviously, but then
Warnock.
At the same time, I think Huddersfield's going to be a tough game simply because talking to a lot of the boys at work, they are starting to get their stride now, especially with these new guys from where they come from. Lincoln, is it?
Yeah.
They've just been something else.
I'm dreading Luton Town away because we always lose in London.
I'm saying that. Is it Isaiah Brown plays for Luton now?
Yeah, he's doing really well.
He's gonna score against us. he's just
yeah.
He is.
But the next 8 games, they are all winnable. And as I say, 24 points, I'd reckon 20 points is probably doable. Probably a bit too hopeful there, but I reckon 20 points out of 24 is doable for my next 8 games. And Charles, with the table being so close as well, if a team goes on a 5 or 6 game win streak, you could really be miles clear at the top. You really could push on.
Yeah, because I think there's only. I think every team in the top 6 currently. I don't think any team has more than 2 wins in 6 games. In the last 6 games in the top 6, which is just really weird. At this time of the season, you expect some teams to be pulling away, and West Brom are 2 points clear. That is the case.
Yeah.
But no team is like 5 or 6 points clear at the top of the league, like Newcastle were, or like Wolves were.
Wolves was just something else.
Or Brighton in the Newcastle season. They're well up there as well. No team is like that. Literally, all we need to do is win kind of 5 or 6 on a bounce, and we'll be well clear.
Yeah, we really will. It's a really good opportunity for Leeds United coming up. Looking at other things then, the Leeds United under-23s, they drew 1-1 with the Burnley under-23s at Elland Road last Monday night. Ryan Edmondson's headed goal in 23 minutes was cancelled out by a penalty in the second half. Leeds United under-23s, they're not doing that well this season, Charles.
No, Edmondson's header was really good. It was a great cross from McCarron from the left-hand side, and a good movement and a good goal. But yeah, I think it was Street gave away a really pointless, dodgy penalty in the second half that was just not necessary.
Yeah,
they are struggling a bit, but I'm sure they'll click again. They just need to hit the stride a bit. They've obviously losing a lot of their players like Gotts and Shackleton to the first team, and also I think Street makes the bench now and again. So yeah, they do lose a lot of players to the first team. So that has happened in the past for Leeds, where we've taken too many players out of that kind of regular playing week, and we stick too many first teamers in, and it just it doesn't really work. But I assume when everyone gets back fit for the first team, I'm sure the under-23s will get that cohesion back, and they'll win some more games.
Yeah, hopefully they bounce back from that. I'm sure that they will get back to winning ways soon. Liam Cooper, he played in the game and was captain as well. He was subbed off at half-time. A few people saying he was limping, others said he was fine. It usually is the case for first teamers when they're playing the under-23s. If they start, they come off at half-time. If they're on the bench, they come on at half-time. Liam Cooper and Bielsa both said, though, in this week's press conference that he is fine. Chris, we got a clean sheet in the last game against Sheffield Wednesday, so does Cooper go back in first team for you?
He's kind of got it though, don't he? He's
the
captain.
Club captain. Yeah, you play your club captain.
He's just got to go. Like, I don't think Hernandez will, simply because he said Hernandez is available, and I want Hernandez to start because we are missing something.
I think he will start Hernandez.
Yeah. But Cooper, does he go straight back in for you guys?
Yeah.
Probably a bit harsh on Bavardi, clean sheet in the last game, but he's our captain. He has to go in. If he's fine, Liam Cooper has to go in. Chris, are you a fan of first teamers playing in the under-23s?
I get why he's doing it for fitness and stuff, and I mean 45 minutes, fair enough. It's not, it's not the end of the world, but
there is that risk there, though, isn't there?
There is the risk, but then at the same time, what's to say we put him straight back in, and within 10 minutes of the game, something doesn't happen to him in the game? There's always risk when playing football. So.
But we saw it last season. Patrick Bamford, he kept on injuring himself in the 23s and being out for a lot longer, so there is that risk there. But I do understand it, getting match fitness back, and I completely understand that, and I'm a big fan of that. Jordan Stevens, he also started for the under-23s in this game, as he has now returned to Thorpe Arch after being banned from all things football for 6 weeks after he was caught betting. It's good that he's back, but at the time that the ban got put out, it was a very, very harsh punishment, wasn't it, Charles?
Yeah, it didn't really make any sense. I swear I've seen somewhere in the news recently there's been some coach who's been betting on games.
Yeah, and he's been banned for 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's been banned for a third the amount of time that Stevens has been banned, and Stevens is 19, and this guy's like a professional coach of a team, which makes no sense. I think Stevens was betting on Leeds fixtures, that's why probably he suffered a harsher punishment.
Yeah.
He did only bet on Leeds to win, though. You get harsher punishment if you bet on your own team to lose, obviously. But yeah, it's just a bit. It was very harsh, and it wasn't necessary. He could have done work for charity or for the foundation.
Yeah.
He could have He'd done some work for the Supporters Trust. He could have done a lot of things, and the FA were just extremely unreasonable.
Yeah, because he's a young lad. He needs help to get through this. But to ban him from everything, even if he did a PE lesson in some school, that would be breaching his bans. So it was very, very harsh.
It was stupid from the FA. And to be fair, he did kind of go back early and posted it on his Instagram.
Yeah,
and Leeds realised and like, what are you doing? Get it off.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I didn't notice that actually.
Yeah, he went back early and put it on his Instagram story, and then it kind of everyone was panicking that the FA had found out and banned him for longer. But fair play to the lad.
Yeah,
he's taking it with a pinch of salt. He's had his 6 weeks playing FIFA instead of playing football.
Yeah,
and now he's back to it.
Yeah,
so.
and hopefully he kicks on again and starts playing how he was. He is a very good youngster.
He is a very good player.
But yeah, it was a very harsh punishment, and there's something needs to be done about these punishments, I think, because I mean Leeds United, we seem to be getting all the harsh punishment. John Stevens getting a 6-week ban from All Things Football. Leeds United being fined £200,000 for breaking no rules in that Spygate saga. But we've seen recently Bulgaria, of course, they were racist to England players in that game the other week, and they're known for being racist. And their punishment, 64 grand fine and 2 games where they have to play behind closed doors.
One of them suspended.
Yeah,
one fan was suspended. There was like 200 of them being racist in the stand.
And it's not enough, is it? It's not enough of a punishment, and something needs to be looked at here.
The Bulgaria thing isn't any either FA's or the EFL's concern. What is their concern is the fact that Millwall were racist and they were only fined 10 grand.
Yeah, 10 grand, and
how can they justify that when they're charging Huddersfield Town for putting a joke up?
Yeah, Nicholas Bentner, he had sponsors on his underwear and he got an even bigger fine.
Exactly,
it's just 80 grand Bentner got.
It's absolutely stupid. There is no consistency with these bans that are coming up.
Yeah,
and I think every football foundation, FA, EFL, UEFA, FIFA, all of them have to come together and say, listen, there's something we have to put in place to sort this out.
We need to kick out racism. It's unacceptable and something needs to be done.
Exactly. And if Kiko was racist, we don't know if he was. To be honest, the only people who are going to know if he was is Kiko and the players who heard it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if he was, fair enough, he deserves a ban. But if it's things like Jordan Stevens putting a bet on and you're banning him 6 weeks from all football, that's the same as a racist ban.
Yeah.
Because they're not allowed to be 6 matches, is it, they're banned for?
Yeah.
So they're still allowed to participate in football for that time. It is absolutely disgusting and stupid.
Yeah, punishments need a big problem at the moment, and there needs to be a massive look and overhaul on it because racism it needs sorting out absolutely. Looking at other things, looking at other bits of news coming out of Elland Road this week. Something that we missed out last week because of all the centenary news, and that's Angus Kinnear. He came out and announced plans to turn Elland Road into a 50,000 capacity stadium. It looks like they'll be making the West Stand similar to the East Stand. Charles, are you a fan of this?
I'm a fan of the concept. How it will be done in practice is different. It's
and they're making a train station.
I like the idea of having a 50,000 capacity stadium because I think we'll get a lot more fans in, we'll make a lot more revenue, we'll be able to pay for some better players, and we'll just generally be better. And also, I mean, I wouldn't personally choose the West Stand. I mean, obviously it is the oldest and most decrepit stand, but I'm always a big fan of renovating the Cop.
Yeah, but it's the only stand really that we can do work on because there's already plans for behind the North Stand to put some five-side pitches there. The South Stand, of course, leads onto the main road, so the West Stand really is the only stand that we can go and renovate. West Stand is a very, very poor stand for me. It's very, very old. It's run down. It's fallen apart, and for me, it really does need renovating, and to have 2 massive stands, it'll be incredible. It'll be exactly like the East Point Arena on FIFA so far, which is Leeds United's default stadium. But yeah, it's certainly needed. I feel Leeds fans, we're selling out our stadium right now. I think even with a 50,000 capacity stadium, we'd still sell that out if we're doing really well. Of course, it all lies on if we do get promoted to the Premier League. Of course, these plans for a new training ground for this stadium renovation, it all lies down on if we get promoted to the Premier League. That is the first and top priority, and if that doesn't happen, these plans for the future probably won't happen.
No, we need the money, the shameless, undeserved TV money, to actually be able to afford it, and because we need the exposure as well.
Yeah.
The more exposure we have, we'll get more likely to sell out every single week in the Premier League. I think we will anyway, because it'll just be entertaining, and it'll be. We'll treat it like a holiday from the Championship, because let's be honest, it'd be very difficult to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah,
we might have to yo-yo a bit for a couple of seasons.
I think we'd manage. To be fair, I thought people like Newcastle would struggle, but they've been doing all right for the past few seasons.
Struggle.
But they get the job done, aren't
Yeah.
they?
They're always 15th to 20th every season.
Yeah. I think we'll surprise a few if we get to
I think it'd be very difficult to end up like Wolves did, where they immediately go straight away and finish 7th.
Yeah, that'll be very, very difficult. Really good plans here. 50,000 capacity stadium. It excited a lot of fans. I think everyone's really happy about this news, and it's well needed. And it's good that they're planning for the future as well.
Well, they've said by 2030 as well they want a train station next to Elland Road.
Yeah.
So they're going to have like a runway towards
by 2030.
By 2030.
11 years time.
I know
I'm 31 years old.
I know it sounds like a long way away, but think about it. This year's flown by for me. I don't know about you guys, but it's been.
But still 11 years time. But it's good that they're planning for the future, though.
I'm excited for it, and to be fair, if it does get agreed, I reckon it will happen quicker than 2030. It's just plans are in action right now. But it'll only happen, I reckon, if Rads sells. And I know that sounds stupid, but Rads has even said so himself. He's only going to take sensible offers. And I don't think he has as much money as he likes to admit.
Yeah, well, he's not got all the money in the world at the moment, and we do need to get promoted to do all these plans. But it's good that they are looking forward to the future. Yeah. Positive thinking there. Elsewhere, the Leeds United first team will be at the annual Christmas Leeds light switch on. That takes place outside the Leeds Art Gallery. They'll be there this year. That's next Thursday, the 7th of November. There's also a 2017 X Factor winner, Raksu, classical quartet G4, as well as some other celebrities there. I have no idea who these guys are, so your guess is as good as mine. But the Leeds United first team will be there, so head on down if you want it. It's all free. You can just go outside. They're expecting about 20,000 people there. I'm not sure that many people will go there, but it's personally not for me. But yeah, Leeds United first team, they will be at the Leeds Christmas light switch on. That's next Thursday, the 7th of November. Also, news coming out of Elland Road, Leeds United, they've announced a bottomless breakfast that they're doing this Saturday morning. They're showing the Rugby Union World Cup final between England and South Africa at the Centenary Pavilion. It all starts at 8 a.m. and for £20 fans can enjoy an English breakfast buffet, tea and coffee, and also unlimited beers and Prosecco. Sounds quite nice.
I didn't realise Prosecco was available.
Only 400 tickets are available, but I mean, this sounds very, very decent. At first I thought that they were tapping into the wrong market, but then I remembered that the Leeds QPR game is on. So, Charles, some people will make a full day out of this.
Yeah, the only thing that disappoints me is the time of it.
Yeah, I mean, well, it is taking place across the other side of the country in Japan. The rugby.
Yeah, I understand that. But like 11:30 is a bit early.
Yeah, and to have a limited beer,
especially if you don't live in the centre of Leeds, like I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's very tempting for £20 unlimited beers and an English breakfast buffet. It's very tempting, but at that time of the morning, are you really drinking that many beers?
Yes.
Probably not. Yes.
Yes. I've got a holiday now.
Are you drinking that many? What a silly question that is.
Yes, you are. But I want to stay semi-sober for the Leeds game, so at least can see what's going on.
I mean, at the best of times, I'm semi-sober.
Yeah, but it seems a very good value. Only 400 tickets remain, but for £20, it seemed very, very good value to me. It closes at 11:30 as well, so they can get the pavilion ready for when they open it at 12 o'clock for the QPR game, for all the casual Leeds United supporters. So if you go to the Centenary Pavilion before each Leeds United home game, don't worry, you can still go there. But yeah, very, very good value. I'm sure that it'll be a lot of fun for people who do go. I probably won't go because it is very, very early in the morning. But yeah, it sounds very decent. And of course, good luck to England in the Rugby Union World Cup final as well. Well, moving on then, looking ahead to the game this Saturday. Of course, a 3 p.m. kickoff at Elland Road between Leeds United and QPR. Leeds go into the game 3 games unbeaten now. Of course, that 1 win and those 2 draws. We're third and on 2 points behind league leaders West Brom, as we mentioned earlier. And Charles, you mentioned it earlier. West Brom, they take on Stoke City away from home on Monday night, and Preston, they are away at Charlton on Sunday. So it's a very good chance for Leeds United to go have a top of the table for just a little while.
Yeah, a couple of days, isn't it? Till West Brom beat Stoke comfortably and go above us again.
I don't think they will. I think, let's face it, every time Stoke have had a turn in fortune recently, they've had some surprise results.
I think they've lost the last 2 games, though.
Yeah,
but they have started picking up wins, especially at home. West Brom, they've been getting a lot of draws at home, so it's certainly going to be interesting on Monday night.
I reckon there'll be a few upsets and people are just
I hope we're not one of them.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a good opportunity for Leeds United, as we mentioned earlier, for the next few games to go on a good run. And but we will need to wait till Monday night to see all the other results and see where we sit in the table for the next week or so. QPR, of course, they're managed by Mark Warburton. They're 8th currently in the Championship table on 23 points, 2 points behind us. They are winless in their last 2 games, though. They're very inconsistent, 7 wins, 2 draws and 5 losses. They've kept no clean sheets this season. Charles, you just know what way this game's heading.
Yeah, definitely. Naki Wells is going to score. We're going to lose 1-0.
Yeah.
Definitely. As they assist.
Yeah, they're going to keep their first clean sheet of the season against us. It always works out like that. QPR, they do have some very good players, of course, as you mentioned, Naki Wells, Jordan Newell, Eberici Eze, that youngster, of course, got 6 goals and 4 assists this season. He seems very good.
We won't be able to afford him, mate. It'll be good at the Premier League team in January, probably.
Yeah, I think a lot of Premier League teams will look at Eze. But yeah, he's a very, very good youngster, and we will need to watch out for him. But QPR, they do have some very good players. They're just very, very poor defensively, clearly, because they haven't kept a clean sheet all season after 14 games. So, Charles, we should be winning this, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah, but I've said that before. Yeah, they are very poor defensively, but then again, we're very poor offensively at the moment. So this could be a 0-0.
Chris, how do you see this game going?
I reckon if we sort out some organisation, because like I said, when Bamford came off, we did look very unorganised. If we sort out the organisation problem, I think we should be quite comfortable in this game. I know they've got some very, very threatening players up front, but I don't know. I just reckon we can change something. And if this game, if we win it, we should be on a comfortable run, because then we've got the momentum. Yeah. Because, like you said, 3 games unbeaten at the moment. I want to go for that 6-7 games where we're unbeaten, like we did last season when we won.
Yeah, well, that was a 7-game win streak.
It wasn't just a beating. We won 7 games on the bounce.
If we could do that this season, at this stage, I think we'll be happy.
I think 9 is the record for Leeds. We've never won more than 9 on the bounce.
Yeah, I'll take 9. I'll take 10.
I'll take 46. Yeah, certainly be incredible that. But yeah, QPR, they do have some very good players. Very poor defensively, no clean sheets this season, so we really should be winning this. We have lost our last 2 meetings with them, though. Of course, that 1-0 loss away there in the league back in the last season, and that 2-1 loss in the 3rd round of the FA Cup back in January. But we did go unbeaten in the 4 meetings before that, 3 wins and a draw there. Team news. Now, I was at the press conference this week, last Thursday, thanks to LS11. So I've got a clip here of Bielsa giving us an injury update, so let's have a listen.
Pablo Hernández está bien. Pablo Hernández is good. Bamford arrastra una molestia en el tobillo. Bamford has a little problem in the ankle. Alioski y Douglas tienen algunas molestias. Alioski y Douglas have some problems as well, little problems. Alioski en la cadera y Douglas en la rodilla. Alioski in the side. And Douglas in the knee.
So does that mean then they are not playing then?
¿Eso significa que no van a jugar? No, es que no están definidos. It's not defined yet.
Okay. And for sure still
No, for sure no. For sure no.
Bamford, was that an injury in training?
Bamford tuvo una lesión en el entrenamiento? No, en el partido. No, it was in the match.
So Liam Cooper, he is of course back. Pablo Hernandez, Bielsa says, is good. Bamford, of course, an ankle injury, so he is out. It will be interesting to see if he can make it for the game, but he does have an ankle problem there. Alioski is a problem with his side, but Bielsa didn't rule him out completely, and he didn't rule Barry Douglas out completely, who has a knee problem. Charles, lineup for you? How do you see it lining up?
Is the lineup I want or lineup I expect Bielsa to do? Because they're 2 very different lineups.
Both.
I'll do my lineup first. I'd have Kassir in goal. I'd have Stuart Dallas at right back, Liam Cooper, Ben White, and Leif Davis.
If Alioski and Douglas can't make it,
Douglas and Alioski can't make it. I'd have Calvin Phillips in the DM role. I'd have Jamie Shackleton there I'd have Mateus Klick, I'd have Helder Costa and Pablo Hernandez, and then have Eddie Nketiah up front.
Yeah. Nice.
You can't disagree with that one. That's a phenomenal line.
No, I'm not going to disagree with that one. I'd probably want that as well. But Bielsa, he'll probably put Dallas at left back, won't he, instead of Leif Davis.
Yeah, you'd imagine so.
But that's the clear option for me, though, Leif Davis. He's done very good in his times coming into the Leeds United first team. He's done very well. So I wouldn't mind Leif Davis being in there. It's hard to argue with that lineup. It's really hard to argue.
But then,
Chris?
I'd go Casillas goalkeeper. I was going to say centre back then. I was like,
I think you'd love to play centre.
Centre forward, more like.
Right back, we'll go Elland, because I don't think he's done a terrible job there at all.
No, he hasn't done a bad job, but Dallas isn't a midfielder for me. And Dallas, you can't drop Dallas at all.
I don't think he's a central midfielder either, but I don't think... I think Elland's done a really good job at that right back position, and I know Dallas has done just as good as a job, but...
Yeah. But you can't drop Dallas
just gives us more going forward than Elland does.
You can't drop Dallas for me. He's been one of, if not the best player for Leeds United this season, so you cannot drop Stuart Dallas. You have to be harsh to Elland and drop him, but Bielsa probably will go Dallas at left back just to keep Elland.
And that's what I'm thinking, and then he'll go Ben White, Coops. I want Davis there, but he probably won't. He'll put Dallas right mid. I want to say Costa, because I feel like Pablo could provide more in that central role with Klick.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think he does as well in more central than he does out wing.
But you see this when players get older, they don't stay out wide, they come more central.
Pablo likes that.
To cut in.
That 7 role where he's officially on the right, but he drifts all over the place in the attacking third.
But I think he's best in that position for me. Would you play Shackleton?
Yeah, I'd play Shaq, but
yeah,
I mean, where would we put him? That's the issue.
In midfield? Oh, you put Pablo in there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd put Pablo in there, and I'd keep Harrison out on the left, because
he's been okay.
As much as people are slating him, I really don't think he's done that bad. It's just
he's doing okay.
The people aren't in the box for him.
He's certainly not the worst winger in the world.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
There's some
John Abataka is the one.
Jimmy Kebe, mate. Jimmy Kebe.
Heidi Sacco, we all forgetting about that.
Heidi Sacco at least scored for Leeds. Putting a couple of decent crosses.
Yeah. And then, of course, Eddie Nketiah up front. If Bamford's out.
I mean, we could always recall Gerard Grott, because he's having some issues on his loan.
No, I'd rather keep Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah, he had someone had to write a formal apology to him because they had a massive argument in training.
Oh, wow. Well, didn't realise that. But yeah, it's going to be Eddie Nketiah to start on Saturday, you'd think, if Bamford's out. And it's Eddie Nketiah's time, isn't it, Charles?
You'd like to think so.
You're
also of the of the mind that if Bamford's ankle isn't hanging off by a thread of muscle, he'll probably start. Which is the annoying thing.
Yeah, Bielsa will want Bamford to start any way he can, really.
Unless Bamford is literally unable to run, he'll be starting.
Yeah. Your lineup, Charles, like you said, the only change I'd make, I'd put Tyler Roberts in that number 10 role instead of Jimmy Shackleton.
No, I'd Klick in the 10, I'd Shackleton in the 8.
No, I'd put Klick in the 8 and then Tyler Roberts in the 10.
I like Shaq in midfield.
At least we're all having Klick in there. Yeah. That's the main.
I do like Tyler Roberts though. I do like Tyler Roberts.
I didn't think he performed that well against Burnley in the under-23s on Monday night though, and I just
don't you go insulting Mickey Mouse like that.
I know. I didn't think he played very well.
Yeah.
And I want to see Shaq back in the lineup because I think he gives us that bit of impetus and a bit of energy that we need.
He does, and he makes those passes when players are coming from that right into that kind of.
The only criticism I've got of him as a football player is his first touch is poor.
Yeah.
When he receives the ball, he does tend to bounce off him.
Yeah, and he's a small dude as well, so his strength isn't the greatest.
He needs to spend time with Jack Harrison because Jack Harrison has the best first touch of any footballer I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, he's brilliant, isn't he? He's brilliant. Yeah. Of course, Forshaw he's still out, unfortunately. But yeah, those are the lineups that we'll go with. Score prediction, Charles.
Got to be 2-0 Leeds, isn't it?
2-0 Leeds.
I'm feeling a comfortable one.
Yeah, Chris?
I was going to say 4-0.
4-0. You're that confident?
I think everyone will finally switch on and think, hang on a second, we actually do need to score now.
Yeah.
If Eddie will score a brace.
He said it so casually.
And then, I don't know, I'm hoping if Alioski plays, Alioski scores.
Yeah.
and then click. I kind of want him to score. But.
Well, you're very, very hopeful. I'm not that hopeful, but I do think Leeds United will win quite comfortably. I do think QPR will score because they do have some very good attackers, but they have a poor defence.
Nah, I reckon it's Kiko Garcia's ninth clean sheet of the season for me.
I reckon we'll concede. I'm going to go 3-1 to Leeds United.
No, Kiko's got it in the bag.
It's a very high-scoring game. I'm not sure it's going to be that high-scoring.
Nah, I'm going to go 3-1 to Leeds United. It's Eddie Nketiah's time, and he's going to shine. And of course, it's Leeds United. It's a great opportunity to go on a really good run. So hopefully, if we do win, we should be winning this one really. But that does bring us to the end of episode 41 of the All Things Leeds podcast. Thank you very much as always to Charles for joining me in the studio.
Cheers for having me on, mate.
And thank you very much to Chris as well for coming in. We really do appreciate it.
More than welcome. I'm happy to be here.
And thank you to everyone as well who has listened or watched. We really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed them, why not subscribe or follow the podcast? Give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast if you're listening on there. Share the podcast around as well. Make sure to follow All Things Leeds on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Search All Things Leeds on Facebook. Search All Things Leeds 1 on Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well if you have not already. Follow us all on social media as well. I'm at Ed_McIntyre 98. Charles
at Ups and Downs 999.
Chris Twitter handle
at Yorkshire Polak.
Yeah, make sure to follow us all. That'd be very much appreciated.
That's a great Twitter handle.
Yeah, it is great, isn't it? Yeah, make sure to follow us all on social media. That would be very much appreciated. Me and Charles, we will be back next week. But for now, take care and we'll see you soon.